and welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a horse Q&A with Rainbow, and I've taken some of your questions on Instagram. The first question is from Jaden8758. I'm thinking about buying a horse. What do I look for in a horse to make sure it is healthy? So I actually did a whole video just answering this question, and you can find it right there in the iCard. I highly recommend you watch that video if you are thinking of buying a horse, or if you're just thinking about, getting into riding or any of that in general. Ali2693, what's your favorite thing about owning horses? How old is Rainbow and how long have you had her? Would you ever get another horse? One of my favorite things about owning horses is just how magnificent they are. Now Rainbow here is a small horse, but this is small, and look how huge she is. Like, they're just such big, majestic creatures, just the size of them. I just think that horses are amazing animals, and the fact that we can ride them is just so cool. So I think that's one of my favorite things. It's just the massive size of horses. Rainbow is about 22 years old. I've had her for 18 years. The 22 is basically about a rough estimate because she was not a baby when I got her. As for getting another horse, I don't really have any plans for getting another horse. I'm pretty satisfied with just owning the one. I would probably get another horse in the future once I couldn't ride Rainbow anymore, but you can't, ride two horses at the same time. So for me, there just isn't a reason to get another horse right now. Katie_Boyette, I think, _, what kind of horse is Rainbow? So Rainbow is a Mustang. She was actually born wild. So she wasn't born in a stable or on a ranch or anything like that. She was actually born in the Southwest, and I believe the state is Nevada, where she came from. But that doesn't necessarily mean she was born in Nevada. I don't think anybody could really tell you where she was born. Now I'm surprised by how often I actually get asked this question, because in the All My Pet videos, I actually have every single animal's breed or species underneath their name. So Rainbow's a Mustang, and I've actually gotten people telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about because she's not a Mustang. But let me show you. This right here is an ICE brand, and that is a government brand that they put on wild horses. So you can argue with me all day long that she's not a Mustang, but you'll have to argue with the government about her brand. The next question is from Maggie.pets.88. Why the name Rainbow? Basically because I was 7. I don't think I have any other answer other than that. Kenzie.9553. Do you think catching a wild horse is okay? Well, basically I would be a hypocrite if I said no. I think that catching wild horses is really important. They cannot actually all survive out there. They're out there having babies, and there just isn't enough food to support all of the horses. So it's really important to actually be adopting wild horses. Otherwise, you do have issues where they want to sell them off to slaughters and things like that. So I think that it is actually a really good thing to be adopting wild horses. Hi, my name is Show03. Do you prefer English or Western riding styles? I actually prefer to ride bareback. I know how to ride both English and Western, but my favorite way to ride a horse is just bareback without anything. The next question is, how often do you ride Rainbow? When you do it, is it usually just a trail ride or jumping? This is actually a question I get a lot, and this type of question doesn't bother me, but it does get kind of annoying when I'm constantly being asked how much I jump Rainbow, how high she jumps, and all of that. And that's because I really do just do trail riding with Rainbow. Here in this region, jumping, like I've said in other videos, is not a big thing. So I don't do any jumping with Rainbow. I have done like a little bit of barrels, but not anything, professional or competitive. And definitely not any jumping. Around here too, with ranches and stuff, you don't really want to teach your horse to jump because the fences are not it would so not be suitable for jumping horses. The horses would just be out of their pens and out of the pasture all the time. So here in the Southwest, that's really not something we do a lot. In fact, I didn't even realize what kind of a mindset this was until actually getting on the internet and talking to people, about horses from around the world. But there's just some places where jumping is just all they do. Which I'll probably get a little bit more into with some of these next questions. Lola.Cosa, what skill do you prefer? Jumping, running, or which one do you practice? So see, this is again what I was saying, is that it seems like there's this mentality where you get on a horse and you either jump or you go super fast. And that just isn't the case, and it really shouldn't be the case for anybody, because what skill do I prefer? I prefer horsemanship, not jumping or barrels or racing. Those are just things that should totally be secondary. And I think that there's a big problem with that, is that they just want to, get on the horse and immediately learn how to do something crazy and something cool. And that's not the case. Like, I think being able to actually handle a horse and work with horses and all of that is so much more important. And people should make a bigger deal out of that than, oh, look how high he got that horse to jump, or something like that. And I've noticed a lot of comments that I get, like from the UK, are just so focused on jumping. And I've said in the past, I think it's a big thing over there. You guys have let me know in the comments that that is very common in stables, is to learn jumping right away as soon as you start lessons. And to me, maybe it's just the culture that I've been in, but I don't think that that's really that important. I think that there are so many other skills in working with horses that should be valued more. Jade Passenger, if you had to show, what discipline would you choose? So as I was saying, what I value is horsemanship. If I was going to do something like that, then I would totally be like Cavalia. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that show, but it is people working with horses where they don't have halters on, they don't have leads, they don't have bridles, they don't have saddles, and it's just connecting with the horse one-on-one. It is so beautiful, and to me it is so much more inspiring and so much more impressive than any type of dressage or show jumping or racing or anything like that. Alternate took, how do you exercise Rainbow? Do you do lunging, trotting, galloping? So basically, with Rainbow, it's not really something that I'm like, oh, how am I going to exercise her? I need to exercise her. That is something that you very commonly see with horses that are in stables. And it's really important for horses that are in stables because they're in a small pen. They don't get exercise unless you take them out. Rainbow is on acres of land. She doesn't exactly need exercise. And I also think it's pretty obvious that she's a fat pasture horse. Danny.xx, horses are naturally part of a herd in the wild. Do you think that they get lonely when they're alone in the pasture in captivity? In other words, do they need another horse or barn mates for company? Yes, I 100% agree that they do need company. Horses are herd animals, and horses should really only be alone if they're getting constant training from someone. That's a really good time to actually have horses by themselves because they respond a lot quicker, because they're excited that somebody's coming to visit them, so they're really willing to do what they're supposed to do, trying to please, trying to actually listen. But in general, horses are very much happier when they're in a herd. So I think it's really important to always have a barn mate, and I think that it should be a horse or a mule, maybe even a donkey, but definitely something like that, like having a goat as their barn mate. I don't think that really satisfies their need for companionship. Horse.Hartman, what do you feed her? So Rainbow basically gets just hay. She doesn't get any type of grain. If she got grain, she would, don't want to fat shame her again, but she would be so fat if she got grain. She gets just hay. Sometimes during the summer, she just is out on pasture and she doesn't get any food. Like I was saying earlier, Rainbow is a Mustang, so she is used to just grazing in order to get everything that she needs. And she's really good and easy to keep weight on. She really just does not need a lot. So Rainbow's a really easy keeper. Not all horses are like that. Some horses, doesn't matter how much food you throw at them and they just keep getting skinnier and skinnier. But with Rainbow, no food and she's fat. Dog 68973. What is good riding weather? What degree? Personally, I think that cold weather is really comfortable to ride in because I ride bareback and horses are very warm. So when it's kind of cold out, it's just so nice and comfortable. My legs are all warm wrapped around Rainbow, so that's what I think. However, you can ride in any weather. Of course, if it's really hot, you might want to not, push your horse too hard, but really any weather you can ride in. Colin Cox, is a mare or a gelding better starting horse? So I personally think that a gelding is a better starter horse. Mares can be too, but really geldings are usually very sweet, very easy to handle, and most people will recommend for you to go with a gelding for your first horse. Now the last question is from benryan.r. How many horses does your farm have? So besides Rainbow, there are 6 other horses here. Thank you for joining me for this horse Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. I got so many questions, it was hard to pick which ones to answer. I did try to focus more on Rainbow. I might do another video where I focus more on just general horse questions, but I hope you enjoyed this, and if you want to see more of Rainbow or the other animals whose head isn't even in the screen right now, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!